Now talk to CEO Risk Management and fellow Nigerian Institute of Industrial Security, Onyekachi Adekoya. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. In a nutshell, the Commander-in-Chief is saying there is now zero tolerance for internal wranglings and that the different security forces must learn to work together and not undermine one another. We seem to have seen a very decisive pronouncement in this regard during the recent face-off between the DSS and the EFCC. How important is this call for them to work together?
Thank you for the question and good evening to your viewers. It's absolutely very important, and I think that this also shows what we argue every time that Nigeria is better off with a civilian president. It's very business-like. It's like in any office where you have departments and sub-departments. The CEO doesn't care what's costing the wrangling. All the CEO cares about is the objectives and the set of mission statements of the company and what the organization is pursuing. And of course, like I always say, it is the CEO's primary responsibility to set the direction, provide the resources, and also remove every impediment to progress. So it's a clear charge from the CEC to say everybody will focus on one purpose and we should be heading in one direction, and that's what I want people to focus on. So it's a good direction to give, and it's very important to set the tone, particularly when it comes to security agencies, and to leave none of the parties in any doubt as to what is most important. The protection of life and property, and then the prosperity and economic development of Nigeria. So it's no longer business as usual. There's a new sheriff in town, and everyone must get to work. I think that's what the message says.
Indeed, Mr. Adekoya, when you take a look at all the 6 geopolitical zones, each of them, seem to have their peculiar security challenges, and then add to it kidnapping for ransom, which has taken a national dimension. Is it enough to provide new direction, or you would need to change those people who are in charge of all of these different sectors?
Well, I think the president, the time would come for him to make certain decisions as to the changes he needs to make. Remember that you still don't have the General Assembly in place. So by even our constitution and doctrine, he has to maintain some semblance of stability, which is why you are saying that you have the current set of service chiefs in place, which is not to say in any way that they are not competent or not fit for the job. But of course, the president has a call to make. Some have argued that perhaps what he has summoned is almost like a National Security Council. But we've been very quick to say to them that he's called it a meeting with the chiefs. A president cannot sit down and fold his arms and do nothing. So the time for a personnel change will come. From what the president has said, he wants to reform, change doctrine, and do some restructuring. There are some things he can do by executive fiat. There are a lot of things he cannot do except with the help of the National Assembly and the Houses of Assembly of the federating units in the country. So it's a tall order, but with leadership, direction, investment of his political will and leverage, and again with some clear insights on what needs to be done, we can begin to nudge towards the right direction. But it's not an easy task.
Indeed.
There will be no quick fixes to it. We're in it for the long haul. And again, what is most important, and I do hope that the teaching cabinet of the president is listening, is that the federal government is failing because the federal government is doing too much. Internal security should not be the primary responsibility of the presidency. It's actually an aberration. The time for a change is now. So we can't keep tasking the president with internal security. He should be protecting the territorial integrity of the country, dealing more with foreign affairs and foreign relations, and playing international diplomacy.
Seems you're saying that governors have to now take their place as chief security officers of their states, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Local initiative, remove the federal bureaucracy, you increase response time, you take the essence of the security program you're driving from a bottom to top approach. Internal security should no longer be. It's even an aberration, it's wrong. And that's why successively we've not been able to deal with the
All
issue
right.
of internal security.
Good place to leave it. Security consultant Onyekachi Adekoya. Good to see you.